Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Krishna Gopal, and in this video we are going to talk about the case study which is related to the machine learning, and particularly it is related to the natural language processing. This case study is absolutely for the beginners or the intermediate people who are starting their journey in the data science. Case studies are always important to understand how whatever we study in the theory, how we can implement it in the practical way. So let's start this case study and learn how we can implement, what are the methods, how we perform the EDA, how we extract the meta features, what are the meta features, how we visualize the meta features, and then how we come up to the inference level. So everything we're going to discuss in this case study from the 0 to the advanced level. We will start by just loading this data set. Before that, we're going to understand what's the problem, how we're going to tackle the problem, and what is the type of this machine learning problem. So the objective of this case study is to predict which are the tweets are showing the real disaster and which are not. This is the popular competition from the kaggle. So let us start this video by defining what is the objective, why we are solving this problem, because it's important to know what we are solving. We should understand, then we are going to solve it. So what's happened actually, the social life become an active part of our lifestyle. In that, one of the important is Twitter. So basically people use Twitter to express the feelings, to convey the information fastly what they see. But sometimes, and it is an important social media platform in the times of an emergency, but it's not always clear what the people want to post. What they post and how they define that problem is not always clear. So it's a big problem to understand what they want to show, what they are writing in their tweet is really showing a disaster, is really there is an emergency situation, or they want to convey to something else. So the objective of this case study is to predict which tweets are showing the real disaster and which are not showing the real disaster. Once we comfortable to build this kind of a model, then we can have enough flexibility to address the real disaster situation and the what people are posting just for the fun. That's the non-real disaster. We no need to worry for that. So basically define what the introduction already I explained what we are going to solve, because Twitter is an important communication channel in terms of an emergency. So we basically need to build a machine learning model which can predict which tweets are about real disaster and which are not. So basically this is the binary classification problem, because again and again I'm telling which tweets are showing real disaster and which are not. Basically I have the two class, disaster, non-disaster. So this is basically a binary classification problem. It's important to understand which problem you are going to solve. It's a regression problem or it's a classification task. So this problem, this case study is devoted to the classification task, and that is also known as the binary classification. Because to solve any machine learning problem, what we need first data. With data only we can proceed. So better to understand what is the data we have. We have other two files in the kaggle competition, that is a train file and the test file. Here I'm going to consider only for the train file for now. At the end, when we submit this case study to the competition to check our accuracy, there we will use the test set also. But here understand what the data we have in the train file. We have one ID for every tweet. We have one text. That text is nothing, it is a tweet what people are posting in the Twitter. We have an allocation from where the people are posting that tweet. This location is then they give some keyword what the people are using the keyword there, and in the last there is a target, that is a disaster and non-disaster. So basically we have near about the 5 columns in our file, and we need to build the model with the help of this 5 column. How we going to perform everything we will going to see in this playlist, and I hope you will going to enjoy this video. Moving forward, what are the steps we are going to follow? We have to load the data set. We already keep in our local system. So basically in the same folder we have in a file, in the same folder we should have in a Jupyter notebook. So there should be no error. Then second step is, what is the first look of a data set? How many values, what is the information of the data, what is the top 5 rows, what is the last top 5 rows we have in our data set. That is the first look of a data set. We going to see how many rows and how many columns, etc, etc things. Then third important thing come target analysis, because you have a target to predict which tweets are showing real disaster and which are not. So you should be understand how that target distribution is defined in your file. What is the target distribution we have? That is a balance problem or it is an imbalance problem, because the machine learning problem mostly are the imbalance problems. So we should be analyzed when we are going to be so any kind of a machine learning problem, and that is comes under the supervised machine learning problem. We should be analyzed that what the distribution of our target we have in our file. Now next to the missing value, thinking about what features to keep and what features should be removed from the data set is an important criteria, and that can be defined, that can be decided with the help of the missing value. So the missing value analysis we will perform. Sometimes we perform before the target analysis and sometimes we perform after the target analysis. It is nothing like a hard and hit rule. You have to follow these steps. Then moving forward, we have to be perform the exploratory data analysis. That is one of the most important factor, because there we're going to learn how our data and how our data is distributed regarding the disaster and regarding the non-disaster. And then we will create some meta features. What are the meta features? We will going to talk about it later. And then we visualize and we analyze the meta features, because whatever the features we extract in this data set by using the feature engineering, they should make sense. If they are not making the sense, we are going to remove it. And then moving forward, we are going to use the n-gram. What is n-gram? Again, we will come back when we will discuss the n-gram. Like this stuff we're going to be discussed. So to be continue. So let's start the video. Let us start this case study by defining the first step by loading the data set. So I already load some important library for the just a short introduction. What is a NumPy? NumPy is a Python library which help us to support the mathematical function or the linear algebra. And comes to the pandas. Pandas is an important tool which help us to load the data set, which help us to visualize, which help us to analyze the data set. Then matplotlib, cmon are the two data visualization library. So let's load the data set by defining one variable, that is a df. You have to be write the pd.read csv, because your files come under the csv format. And what is the name of your file you should know, that is a train here. So train.csv, and you should have a look. So the df is look like that. So we should going to be look what the first look of the data set we have. So for this we are going to write the one function, because whatever the functions we are going to write in this case study, we will going to use in another case study as well. So in no need to load the data set in this way. What we can do, we can write the function, that is a def is a definition of the function, and we can give the name which can match what the operation we're going to perform in the analysis. So define, and we can get the get summary. Get summary is a good name here, get summary, and you have to pass the data here. So first we're going to see what are the how many rows and how many columns we have. So for this we write the print, and we write that there are n number of rows and n number of columns. Our data set, we're going to use the format, and we're going to write the df dot shape. Shape is actually basically tell what is the matrix you have. If I show you here, if I tell you df dot shape, you can understand, oh sorry, df dot shape, you can understand 7 6 1 3 are the rows and 5 are the column. So to extract the first thing, extract the 7 6 1 3, that is a row, we have to write here df dot shape, and we have to be give it syntax, that is a 0 comma df dot shape. For column you should give the 1. What are the names of columns? So name of columns, can write the df dot, and then we can have a look, the first look here, that is we write here. And then what we can have the print data, okay, so data dot info, and then we can write here the return, that is the data dot head, and here you have to write the data. Of course this is also should be data because data is an argument you are going to pass in this function. Okay, so get summary of the data. We just copy this function and we pass here the in place of data we pass the df, and let's see what the result we get. So there are the 7613 number of the rows and 5 number of the columns in our data set. What are the name of the column? We have id, keyword, location, text and target. Then basically the id is 7613, which is actually matching the total, so there is nothing is missing from the id. But keyword and location, if you see, these are the two columns which are missing. But for the missing value analysis we will come back later on this. Then text is the 7613 and target is also 7613, that is nothing is missing in that. Okay, so this is the first look we have in our data set. So another important thing, whenever you write the function, you should write some kind of an doc string, like this function is related to this task, this function is related to this task, because if somebody else is reading your code, they should understand what you are going to perform in this function. Moving so we complete our first step. So moving to the second step is about the target analysis. What is our target analysis? We have df, we have the target. We can use the value counts. So 0 is 4342 and 1 is 3271. So basically it's not look good, because 1 means is what? 1 means is disaster and 0 means non-disaster. So basically my first work is to change the 0 and 1 to the non-disaster and the disaster. So we change this here by writing the function. So def again, and change and write the function name, that is the change class label name x, and we write if x equal to 1, then it should return us disaster, right? Else it should return us non-disaster. Now when we write the function, the another thing come now to map this function to our the target column. So df dot target we have. Let's see how we can map this one. So this is very very simple operation. We just use the map function. So this is the map, and we pass the function name here. So change class name, class label name. Okay, and again we will check the value counts in target analysis. So we see non-disaster is the 4342 and disaster is 3271. We understand this data is not too much imbalance. It is not like 10% and 90%, but it is also not like 50-50%. But show it according to the visualization, because data visualization is an important part which we underrated always. So whatever analysis you performing, make it visualize so other person can understand in simple way compared to see your tables. So we're going to be perform here the pie chart, because we are doing the univariate analysis. So when we use the pie chart, we use the pie chart when we perform the univariate analysis for the one column only. We can use the bar chart also to define to show this data is not imbalanced. So both charts we can show in the one frame as well. So let me show you how we can code it in a very simple way. Okay, so for this I'm going to use definitely the matplotlib. Okay, so before performing the data visualization, let's keep this in two different lists, so it's easy for us to perform the data visualization. So for the value, I can write here the df.target.value count.values. So this 43423271 come in the one place, and this index, that is the class name, that is change here the index, and it will come in the different list. Now for your checking, you can check 43423271 income list, and check for the index also, it's also come in the one list. So okay, now first I will perform the pie chart. Then first I will show you how we can draw the pie chart, then parallelly I show you how you can draw the bar chart. But make sure you always write a function. Whatever you perform here, maybe tomorrow the second case study is also related to the binary classification, so you no need to again write the code from the scratch. You have to be use the steer functions, and with the help of that function you can do the fast exploratory data analysis. Yeah, there is some change here and there, but that one we can manage it. Okay, So write the function how we can draw, but first before writing the function I will show you how you draw by step, and then later we change it to the in the generalization way. Okay, so first using the matplotlib and the c1, I have to be define the figure axis, the figure size, and how many rows and how many columns I want. I want the one row and the two column. In the first column is the pie chart and the second column is the bar chart. I define here the figure and I define the ax1. I need two axes because ax1 comma ax2 is equal to plt dot subplots, and I want one row and two columns, and I want the fixed size is, I can write the fixed size for now 15 comma 9. Later we can change it. Then fixed size I think this, and then later, so for the first axis I want to draw the pie chart, so ax1 dot pie. And to understand, to learn how we can draw the pie chart, simply you can write in the Google how to draw the pie chart in the matplotlib. There is a one code will come, that's understand the code, that we need the values, we need the label, we need the color, we need the something like that factors. Just copy and paste. Once you become familiar to draw the pie charts, later that code you can then you can easily remember that code. So ax1.py, what I need the values, I need the label. So I know already my values is value, so I write here value, and my labels is label. My labels is label. Then what I can do here, I can give the argument, then rest I can give the argument auto point, that is 1.1 f percentage, because it show how many percentage of your data belonging to that class. And then start angle is 120, and you can give the colors according to your choice. For now I give the sky blue and the brown color. Then this is related to the pie chart and related to the bar chart. How you draw the bar chart, you have to be define the ax2, right? ax2 dot bar, and you have to pass the x and y. So what is your x? X is your here index, right? X is your index, y is your value, because the pie chart in the x-axis you want to see disaster and non-disaster, where the y-axis you want to see their count. Okay, index comma value, you can pass the colors here, the sky blue and the brown, same colors you can pass here. Then you can pass the label as well, so label is your index should be. Then ax2 dot set legend you can pass, because it will show your the label, and where you want to lock. If you want to lock in the center, it will come in the center. If you want to lock in the center left, it will come onto the center left. But for now I just leave it as empty, because it will adjust according to it. Then in similar fashion you can set the x label and the y label as well, that is the target and the count. And at the end you can set the title of the plot. You can set it the target distribution, and you lock in the left position with the font size 26. Then you have to give the plt dot show it like in that. Okay, so this is what we get. This is the target distribution look like, that is the 43% in the disaster and the 57.0 are the non-disaster tweets we have. And this is the bar chart we can see here. Now your job is to write this function. Your job is to write this code in a function. So tomorrow if we do the case study related to the binary classification, you have to be called that function name. So what is important in target data visualization, you have to be give the x label name, you have to be give the y label name, you should set some target, your title of your plot, because what you are doing, that's nobody know. So you have to be set one title also. Then you have to be give the cool colors, that is cool to your eyes also. And that's all for the data visualization. And according to the data visualization, our data is look like that. I hope you understand how we write. Some errors always you will face whenever you are in the learning process, so don't worry about it. So this is the target distribution, and I hope this we should stop it here. And you have to be write the inference as well with every plot. So in the next video we will talk about the missing value analysis, how we count the missing values for every column. We will store in the dictionary, and then we plot the bar chart, and then we decide which features to keep, like location we should keep or not, keyword we should keep or not. That's in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos, and have a happy learning. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks and bye bye.